Hello there. Hope you're all doing well. Just wanted to share some thoughts and reflections and just appreciation for the new GForce / Oberheim OB-X plugin. Had an early copy sent to me by GForce and had a chance to play with it extensively and also made a sound bank for it. Check out the link if you haven't already. But yeah, I was really impressed with the job they did. It's really an exceptional plugin. So just wanted to share some thoughts on why I think that is and what kind of distinguishes it, and have a little demo at the end. Foremost, I don't want to make anybody feel bad about whatever gear they have, whatever plugins or hardware you have. I don't want you to watch this video and then feel like, oh, what I have sucks. I got to go buy this thing now. So I feel like I have the good thing now. Whatever you have is perfectly fine. As long as you can make music with it, that's what matters. It's kind of what you do with it. And tons of platinum albums are made with micro Korgs and all kinds of inexpensive stuff and all kinds of plugins, and nobody thinks they sound bad when they hear the record. Don't want you to feel any dissatisfaction with what you have or any kind of gas syndrome. Just sharing some thoughts and appreciation, especially for the nerds and enthusiasts out there who really are into this kind of stuff. So with emulating a hardware instrument, it's a lot easier to get one voice right. Like for example, like a lot of the really good Minimoog plugins, they sound really good, like they nail it. And it's one thing to get that one voice accurately emulated, but it's a lot harder to get multiple voices in one instrument. There's things about how the voices interact that can really set it apart and prove to be a challenge. A lot of times there's these videos with comparing a plugin to the hardware, and it'll compare like one oscillator and the other oscillator, and then do a filter sweep on the plugin and a filter sweep on the hardware, and they sound really, really accurate. But then when it comes to multiple oscillators and the interaction between oscillators and those phase relationships, and then how the interaction between different voices within the circuit and how the voices sum together at the end to the final output, there's something to my ears with vintage instruments that that's kind of like the point where it's most obvious to distinguish, and not to say like all the plugins these days, they all sound really good, like any of them really. They're all totally usable, and all the reissues, whatever hardware instrument, there's just tons of really good stuff out there, and it's all very usable in a professional setting. But yeah, I think with the vintage stuff, it's just that certain quality that you might say makes it easier on the ears, with how everything is kind of gelling together and how it sums together at the end, and the interaction between those voices. And with this OB-X plugin, I definitely, more than any other time, I can really hear that. And right when I played it, I could really get that sonic quality, and I was pretty blown away by what a good job they did with that, along with everything else. The beating between the oscillators and the subtle distortions and the resonance and the filter and all these things. They just really did a great job. Not to say that those kind of sonic characteristics are out of reach if you don't have this plugin. Of course, there's the instrument is just the first part of a final production, final mix. compression and using different kinds of saturation or tape reel-to-reel plugins or anything like that. Those all help the sound gel together, and of course, it's in the context of a mix. Like I said, the instrument's just the first step of that, and you can make anything sound record ready with a skilled engineer and skilled mastering and that kind of thing. So again, don't want you to feel like you have to go buy this thing now to have good high quality sound. If you do choose to buy it, again, you'll be very pleased, and it's a good place to spend your money if you're really into the sound of an OB-X for relatively not a lot of money. I think something like 800 OB-Xs were made, and they're quite expensive. But even if you had the money, there's only so many to go around. So yeah, it's really cool that now this is available, and it just sounds super, super good. Again, not to say it's not a competition between vintage and plug-in. The sound is just one thing. The historical aspect and the hands-on quality and just how cool vintage synths are is another thing. So both will always have their place, and both have their own special strengths and qualities, and they'll both always be there. They're both very useful in their own ways. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you haven't seen it already, I've also done a comparison with the first Oberheim GForce collaborations, which was the OBE, which is like a Oberheim 8 voice emulation, and also the SEM plugin emulating the Oberheim SEM. I compared the OBE with the vintage OB-X, and also did a video comparing a single mono voice card of OB-X to the SEM plugin. And there you can also see with those plugins, they also did a really, really good job. So check those out in the links if you haven't already. And like and subscribe if you wish. Yeah, we'll end it with a demo. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.
Wow.